This is Margin Machine, where we follow the money behind AI. The global translation industry billed $67 billion last year. And the average agency charged 24 cents per word to do it. A single 10,000-word contract, $2,400. The same job, run through DeepL or GPT-4 today, roughly $2. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how a $67 billion industry is being hollowed out word by word, and why the people losing the most aren't the translators everyone assumes. Welcome back to another price war. And if you saw our video on the $180,000 software AI killed for $29 a month, you already know where this is going. But the translation story hits different, because the pricing model here was almost deliberately designed to be invisible. Agencies don't quote you a monthly rate. They quote you per word. That's the trick. You never think about the total. You just approve the invoice. Standard rates sit between 18 cents and 30 cents per word, depending on the language pair and the agency. Rare language pairs, think Swahili, Tamil, Icelandic, can push 45 cents or higher. A mid-sized law firm that handles international contracts. They might spend $150,000 to $300,000 a year on translation alone. Enterprise companies with multilingual marketing, legal filings, and compliance documents. Reportedly north of $1 million annually. That number has been accepted as the cost of doing business for decades. And then the math changed. Here's where it starts to fall apart. Let's put real tools on the other side of the scale. DeepL Pro, the one most professionals actually use, runs $29.99 per month for individuals, $57 per month for teams. No per word charge. Unlimited translations up to a document size cap. For API access, the rate is $5.49 per million characters. That's roughly $0.002 per word. Compare that to 24 cents. That's a 99% cost reduction. Not a rounding error. A cliff. Then you have GPT-4 via the API, which handles translation with context sensitivity that surprised a lot of professional linguists when they tested it. Input cost, around $10 per million tokens. A token is roughly 3/4 of a word. So a 10,000-word document costs somewhere between $1.50 and $3 to process. The $2,400 agency invoice becomes a $2 API call. Now here's the part nobody mentions, the agencies knew this was coming. They had a plan. And it made the situation worse. Starting around 2020, the bigger translation agencies started offering what they called neural machine translation post-editing. NMTE for short. The pitch: we'll run your content through AI, then have a human editor clean it up. Faster. Cheaper, for you. Except the rate they offered wasn't $0.002 per word. It was 8 cents to 12 cents per word. Still 40 to 60 times more expensive than just running the API yourself. What they were selling was the liability wrapper. The human sign-off. The certified stamp. And for a while, risk-averse enterprise procurement teams paid it. Would you have taken that deal, paying 60x more for a human signature on an AI output? Tell me in the comments. Because a growing number of CFOs looked at that number and started asking a different question: what exactly are we certifying? And that question cracked the whole model open. This is where everyone gets it wrong. The assumption is that AI translation fails on nuance. That idioms break. That legal precision disappears. And 5 years ago, that was mostly true. Today, the data is more complicated. A 2024 benchmark study by Intento, a translation technology analyst firm, found that GPT-4 and DeepL matched or outperformed human translators on general content in 22 out of 30 language pairs tested. Not close. Matched or exceeded. Where humans still win: low-resource languages, highly technical regulatory filings, and anything where cultural subtext is load-bearing, marketing campaigns, literary content, political documents. That's real. That's the genuine gap. But here's the math that matters: those edge cases represent maybe 15% of enterprise translation volume. The other 85%, internal. Comms, product descriptions, support documentation, financial reports, that's the part that just got repriced to near zero. And the companies collecting the new revenue from that shift are not who you'd expect. DeepL is the clearest winner in plain dollar terms. Founded in Cologne, Germany, valued at around $2 billion as of its last funding round, reportedly processing over 1 billion words per day. Their pro tier is sticky, teams sign annual contracts, usage compounds as companies replace agency spend with subscriptions. But the less obvious winner is the middleware layer. Localize, Phrase, Transifex, software platforms that plug AI translation into product and marketing workflows. Phrase alone reportedly processes content for over 600 enterprise clients. They're not the AI. They're the pipe the AI runs through. And they charge $800 to $2,000 per month for that pipe. That's a new cost center appearing exactly where the old one, the agency retainer, just disappeared. The money didn't vanish. It rerouted. And the freelance translators sitting in the middle? They're the ones absorbing the actual loss. The industry shed an estimated 45,000 freelance translation jobs between 2021 and 2024 according to labor market tracking data from PROS and industry surveys. That's not a rounding error either. We follow the money here every week, subscribe so you don't miss the next trail. Let's close the ledger. Agency translation, 18 cents to 30 cents per word. For 100,000 words a month, a realistic enterprise volume, that's $18,000 to $30,000. Monthly. DeepL Pro Teams, $57 per month, plus API costs if you go heavy volume. Call it $200 to $500 a month all in for the same 100,000 words. GPT-4 API with a basic wrapper, under $100. What you keep, speed, scalability, 85% of quality parity. What you lose, certified liability coverage, low resource language accuracy, and the cultural nuance layer on brand-sensitive content. The play that's actually working for mid-market companies right now, AI for the 85%, humans on retainer for the 15%. One New York-based e-commerce company reportedly cut their translation budget from $22,000 a month to $1,800. Kept 2 specialist freelancers on a $500 monthly retainer for sensitive copy. Net saving, around $240,000 a year. That's not a pilot program. That's a structural shift. And the agency's still pretending the model holds. They're already gone. They just don't know it yet. Here's the thing about every industry that gets repriced by AI, the translation collapse didn't start with the AI getting good. It started with one specific enterprise procurement decision made inside a single Fortune 100 company in 2022 that the agencies never saw coming. And that decision created the template every CFO is now copying. If you want to know exactly what that procurement decision was, and which tool triggered it, click the video on your screen right now.